In recent months, anxiety surrounding global security has spiked. Military analysts are increasingly concerned about the deployment of nuclear weapons in modern, escalating conflicts. The concern extends to the rising threat of dirty bombs, conventional explosives laced with radioactive material, especially in volatile regions like the Middle East. In response to these intelligence reports, Western governments, including the United States and several European nations, have begun quietly mass purchasing a highly specific medical countermeasure to fill their strategic emergency warehouses. This stockpiling is also driven by a sharp increase in industrial accidents, where highly dangerous radioactive materials leak into the public domain from discarded medical equipment or poorly managed industrial waste. The combination of these two factors, the threat of active conflict and unpredictable industrial leaks, has created a massive, overnight global demand for reliable radiation defense. Curious, shifting tone. The countermeasure fueling this global demand is a capsule containing a deep blue pigment known as Prussian Blue. This pigment is officially classified by both the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the World Health Organization as a critical drug for radiological and nuclear emergencies, which raises an immediate question. Why is an industrial dye humanity's primary medical defense against a nuclear disaster? To understand the cure, you have to look at how civilian radiation exposure actually happens. While a blast is devastating, the lingering danger comes from inhaling radioactive dust or ingesting contaminated food and water. Two specific radioactive isotopes are the primary culprits: Cesium-137, a dangerous byproduct of nuclear fission, and thallium, a toxic heavy metal. Because their chemical structures mimic essential nutrients like potassium, the human body actively absorbs them. Once they breach the stomach lining and enter the bloodstream, these isotopes embed themselves in soft tissues, continuously emitting radiation that destroys internal organs. We have seen exactly what this does. Following historical reactor meltdowns, internal contamination caused by these specific elements proved to be one of the deadliest and most long-lasting consequences for the surrounding population. Standard medical treatments are largely ineffective once these isotopes saturate the bloodstream. Survival depends on trapping the radiation in the digestive tract before the body can absorb it. This is what the Prussian Blue capsule is engineered to do. Once swallowed, it enters the acidic gastrointestinal tract. As it dissolves, the pigment transforms into a massive, porous chemical network inside the intestines, acting like a molecular sponge. When dangerous Cesium-137 and thallium isotopes pass through, they are caught. The blue sponge chemically binds to the radioactive particles, locking them tightly. This creates a physical barrier, forming a molecule too large to pass through the intestinal wall. Trapped in the gut, the body safely flushes the toxic elements out through standard digestion, rapidly dropping the internal radiation levels with every passing hour. Prussian Blue acts as an internal shield that drastically cuts down the body's exposure time to the poison, serving a different purpose than healing external radiation burns. Because this specific biological mechanism is so effective, global demand has surged. To fill those orders, the world is heavily reliant on manufacturing hubs located in India. The specific formulation for this drug was engineered by INMAS, the Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, a specialized laboratory operating under India's Defense Research and Development Organization, or DRDO. After developing the drug for domestic military readiness, the DRDO transferred this technology to the private sector. This allowed major Indian pharmaceutical companies to scale up production to meet WHO GMP standards, which are a set of global guidelines that ensure products are consistently produced according to quality standards. By treating radiation defense as a priority for its own emergency preparedness, India's research labs inadvertently established one of the world's most vital commercial and humanitarian supply chains. We saw this supply chain in action recently in Indonesia, when authorities detected a severe industrial leak involving radioactive Cesium-137. To manage the contamination risk, India swiftly airlifted a massive shipment of Indian-made Prussian Blue capsules directly to the hazard zone to treat exposed workers. Incidents like that, alongside memories of reactor failures at Fukushima and the reality of modern warfare, are why nations are actively stockpiling this drug today. The threat of nuclear fallout requires highly practical, deployable solutions. Right now, a blue pigment, engineered in military labs and exported by India, stands as humanity's most practical and reliable shield.